Published in 1968, The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born is a post-independence Ghanaian novel by Kwei Armah set in post-colonial Ghana during the early 1960s. The novel opens with the man on a bus, observing the filth, decay, and spiritual emptiness around him. He works as a low-level civil servant at a government office. One day, he is approached with a bribe by a businessman, Kwei, who is a former schoolmate and now a wealthy and powerful minister in the ruling political party. The man refuses the bribe, much to the disappointment and frustration of his wife, Oyo, and his mother-in-law, who see his honesty as a sign of weakness and failure to provide a better life for the family. The man's rejection of corruption isolates him. His wife berates him for not taking advantage of opportunities to gain wealth, especially when so many others are doing so. He becomes increasingly alienated, even as he continues to witness the vulgar display of wealth by those who have embraced dishonesty and patronage. His own family pressures him to conform, making him question whether integrity is worth the suffering and humiliation it brings. Later, political tensions rise as a coup d'état threatens the ruling party. When the government collapses, Kwei, the once powerful minister, seeks help from the man to escape arrest or possible execution. Despite the past bitterness, the man agrees to help him. They flee together through the sewers to the harbor, where Kwei eventually escapes. The experience leaves the man more aware of the physical and moral filth engulfing the country. The novel ends with the man seeing a bus covered in political slogans, and noticing a wall painting of a flower with the inscription, "The beautiful ones are not yet born." It leaves the reader with a sense of unresolved hope, suggesting that true integrity and leadership may yet come, even if not in the current generation. Analysis. 1. Themes: corruption and moral decay. The central theme of the novel is corruption, both systemic and personal. Armah presents a Ghana where independence has not led to moral renewal but instead, has been followed by greed, selfishness, and betrayal of nationalist ideals. Politicians like Kwei have enriched themselves while ordinary citizens continue to live in poverty. The man's struggle is less against any one person than against a deeply entrenched culture of corruption. Alienation and individual morality. The man stands as a symbol of individual morality in a corrupt world. His refusal to take bribes and enrich himself sets him apart, but not in a heroic way. Instead, it causes isolation and scorn from his family and peers. Armah portrays the pain and loneliness of choosing integrity in a world that values material gain. Post-colonial disillusionment. Ghana's independence in 1957 brought high hopes, but Armah shows how quickly these hopes were dashed. The novel critiques the new African elite who replaced colonial rulers but adopted their oppressive behaviors. The title suggests that the generation that could bring about true change has not yet arrived. Hope and despair. While the novel is often bleak, it is not entirely without hope. The final image of the flower and the phrase, "The beautiful ones are not yet born," implies that better people, those who will not succumb to corruption, may still emerge. However, for now, they remain only a hope, not a reality. 2. Symbolism, filth and decay. Armah uses imagery of rot, excrement, and filth throughout the novel. These are not just physical descriptions but metaphors for the moral and spiritual decay of society. Public places are dirty, buildings are deteriorating, and even the air feels contaminated. This symbolic pollution reflects the inner corruption of Ghanaian society. The man, the protagonist, is intentionally unnamed to represent the everyman in Ghana. An ordinary individual struggling with the ethical dilemma of surviving in a morally bankrupt world. He symbolizes the potential for honesty in a nation that has lost its way, but he is also flawed and weary. The sewer. The literal and symbolic low point of the novel is the man's journey through the sewer with Kwei. This act underscores how deep into the nation's filth they have sunk. Yet, it is also a form of cleansing. The man helps Kumsin escape, but he emerges with clarity about the ugliness of the world and perhaps a renewed resolve. The beautiful ones are not yet born. This phrase, inscribed near the end, becomes the novel's most powerful image. The unusual spelling of beautiful suggests something deeper than surface-level beauty, a moral or spiritual beauty yet to be realized. It suggests that those who will bring about meaningful change have not yet appeared. 3. Style and structure. Armah's prose is vivid, lyrical, and often unsettling. He draws heavily on imagery, particularly of bodily decay, to evoke the spiritual crisis of the nation. The stream of consciousness technique is used to show the man's inner turmoil, while the external world is described in meticulous, often grotesque detail. The novel's structure is cyclical, starting and ending with public spaces that reflect the stagnant nature of Ghanaian society. 4. Historical context. Set during the Nkrumah era and its immediate aftermath, the novel reflects the political reality of Ghana in the 1960s. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, initially inspired hope but was eventually accused of authoritarianism and corruption. His overthrow in 1966 set the stage for the novel's exploration of failed ideals. Armah's novel is deeply critical not only of Nkrumah's regime but of the entire post-independence leadership class. 5. Relevance and legacy. The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born is a universal story about the cost of personal integrity and the challenge of resisting societal pressure. While Armah's view may seem bleak, the novel challenges readers to consider what true beauty, moral beauty, looks like, and what it would take to bring it into being. The haunting final image lingers. That perhaps, someday, the beautiful ones will be born.